Good morning, Dubai. It's Sunday. We're here to bring you all the latest stories that everyone in Dubai is talking about. We're talking about Britain plans to remove quarantine for vaccinated individuals. Will it affect us here in the UAE? We're still not sure. We're also going to be talking about tributes rolling in, of course, following the death of Chris Eubank's son, Sebastian, here in Dubai.
And we'll also be talking about Dubai's crown prince tries out the world's deepest pool that transforms you to another world. We have to speak more of that later, and Casey went there as well. So, all the tea from that. And Farhana Bodhi is slaying in a stunning gown at the Cannes Film Festival. And the big interview.
Yes, Waleed Shah is in studio. We're going to be talking to him all about his latest campaign, which has become a book, Rock Your Ugly, talking about insecurities and let's not be shy about them. But before we get into that, first of all, a quick shout out to my sister-in-law who's in labour right now. Baby's coming.
Baby!
I think she's at the point where she's not at the hospital just yet, but my whole family's like on WhatsApps waiting for updates because she's in America, my mum is in Ireland, and we're here. But good luck, Chloe, and good luck, Michael.
Exciting.
Your life is about to change. It's about to get really busy. Enjoy that.
It's a baby girl.
It's a baby girl. So we're super duper excited. Who else is excited? English people and Italian people have booked out venues across the city. It's nearly impossible to get a table. Will England bring it home?
I feel... Yeah, no.
What's your affinity? Why England? Why not Italy? Why do you support England? Just out of curiosity.
I'm going with the flow. With the I believe in the statement of it's coming home.
You know what?
Because
It might
needs to come
just...
home.
I just don't get it. What do you mean? What does that mean?
Because
They've been so
England,
close.
Like England hasn't won an international tournament in such a long time.
Neither is Ireland.
Yeah,
Okay, but they're not in the finals.
England, like England, that's where football originated. So it needs
It's
to
coming
come
back home.
So that's why it says
Now
needs
it
to
makes
go back
sense.
home.
I didn't know that.
Football needs to go back home once at least.
Gotcha. Okay.
I get that.
It's
Okay,
like
fine. I want
a
back in
child
England.
that hasn't returned to their parents. A very, very, very long time.
Very long time. 1966, they won the World Cup in Wembley. And now the finals of the Euros is happening in Wembley.
Yep.
Okay, you have converted me. I want to go to England now.
Guys, where are you watching it? By the way, there's heaps of places across the city. La Cantina is a football stadium. Emirates Golf Club has made this massive giant cube for football supporters. It's definitely booked out.
But you gave me some massive tea on that before the show.
Yeah, I was at a place yesterday, Original Rings and Rings, and they've loads of screens set up, and they were like, let's not promote that we're doing it at the finals because it's booked out. But they also said that 2 matches they've had so far, they've had booked out bookings 100%. They've had to have people on wait list, but actually on the day, 60% no show.
Oh, 60% no show.
No
so
show.
Only 40% occupied. That
Or
is
maybe vice versa. But still, so people are booking these tables and not actually fulfilling them in some cases. I went to Emirates.
Do you think
Golf
it's a
Club.
scam?
Potentially. Like, is it competitors booking up other tables around? I don't know. But if you are, booking 3 or 4 places to make sure you get a table, just think about small businesses. Think about the fact that you are doing them wrong in terms of like taking a table and taking what's potential business for them. Like that statistic she told me was shocking, that at the semi-finals they weren't even half full because people didn't make good on their bookings. So really, really hard for business owners. Just think about that
if you're one of them who books and doesn't call to cancel, you are cancelled. The cancel culture is on and you are cancelled.
Preach. And this is like, because in some places, I know that you can ring now and you have to pay a 2,000 dirham deposit.
Oh my God.
These are bigger places if you want to book for 10 people, right? So that's obviously too expensive. So there's the places that don't ask for deposits. People are booking them and then not actually using them. And the fact they're not asking for deposits is quite easy for you. So look, it's the finals tonight. If you have a booking, use it. If you don't have it, if you have lots of bookings, get rid of half of them, or get rid of all of them apart from the one you're actually going to use.
And so there are people who want to get in as well, and because of you they can't, because you booked it and now you're not showing up. It's like a whole thing. But before we start with today's show, our sponsor of today's show is PepsiCo, who are the official beverage and snack partners of the Expo 2020 and are placing their focus on sustainability, inclusivity, and spreading more awareness this year. We'll be talking more about that later on today's show. But although PepsiCo are the sponsors, the opinion and statements are Lovin Dubai's, and for more information on the same, you can visit www.pepsico.com.
And let's jump into our top story. We're talking about tributes, of course, are rolling in following the death of Chris Eubank's son, Sebastian Eubank, in Dubai. The son of former British boxing champion Chris Eubank tragically passed away in Dubai. He was found dead on a beach just days before his 30th birthday. So the 29-year-old had entered the world of boxing, following the footsteps of course, his father and brother, Chris Eubank Jr. As a UAE resident, he also won the UAE Warriors 10 and an MMA match that took place inside Sports City in 2020. So very big on the sports scene here. He lived here with his wife Salma and his 1-month-old son Raheem. So very, very sad to lose him. And as you can imagine, tributes are rolling in for the man who lost his life just shy of his 30th birthday. His dad, of course, posted a touching tribute. He said Sebastian grew up in Hove in England, but in the last years made his life in Dubai, where he had a wide circle of friends and was a leader in the adoption of a healthy lifestyle and alternative therapies. As well as being a personal trainer and professional boxer, Sebastian also was a deep thinker who liked to challenge accepted wisdom. He was loved and respected by all who knew him and will be forever in the thoughts of friends and family. As a family, we now kindly ask to be given space and privacy to celebrate his life and remember the son, the brother, the husband and the friend. So yes, of course, he's survived by his wife and 1-month-old son. A tragic, tragic death. And of course, like I said, he was well recognised in the community here as someone who's committed to sports and committed to a healthy lifestyle. So I think we were all a bit shocked by that death, about how simply and easily life could be taken away. So a very sad one.
That's so true. He passed away as a result of drowning, and like you said, it's just a reminder on how unexpected life can be, just throwing anything your way. And you just got to cherish the people you love the most. And
respect the privacy in terms of their family now, and just kind of give them that time to grieve.
Yeah, of course. But we'll move on to our next story, which is about Dubai's Crown Prince tries out the world's deepest pool. Now, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum was one of the first people to try out Deep Dive Dubai right after Hollywood's Will Smith took a dip in the world's deepest pool. And now the pool, 196 feet, which is 60 meters underground, is part of the new Deep Dive Dubai, an attraction perfect for divers. It is 15 meters deeper and 4 times bigger than the actual diving pool, than any other diving pool globally. And Fazza was one of the first to introduce deep dive on his Instagram, and the pool also features a mysterious sunken city and has become an overnight must-do on Dubai residents' bucket lists. But if you guys see the videos beside us, and if you go onto Fazza's Instagram handle and see the video he initially put out, oh my god, like it is insane. And you checked it out over the weekend?
I did. I was super, super lucky because I think they had a media day on Thursday, which you couldn't make, and then they opened it up on Friday. And yeah, like the videos don't do it justice. Once you go out there, it's this whole new facility, and I think it's kind of hard to comprehend, because if you think about, like, let's say a massive swimming pool, it's like what, 2 meters deep? This is a massive swimming pool, but as soon as you get in, it goes down 60 meters. If you look at the Will Smith swimming, like, he's just sitting on the edge and he puts his phone down, and you obviously can't see as deep as it goes. So all diver levels are welcome. I had my PADI done, which meant I'd done 4 days of training before.
Oh, okay.
So I was eligible to go 18 meters. But they have, it's even catered for if you've never dived before. I feel like that doesn't matter. I'm gonna move on. If you've never dived before, it's all abilities are welcome. They set you up. I was with Lear, who was training me. She was fantastic. She kind of really made me comfortable because it's been a while since I've been it. But it is unbelievably cool down there. It's kind of like Dubai because there's a photo opportunity at every moment.
Oh, was there a photographer following you around? How did you get the videos? Because it was there, and Casey posted the whole thing on Lovin Dubai. But how did you get the videos?
So there is a photographer down there. So it's kind of like if you do any type of, let's say if you go and skydive Dubai, they'll give you a video after. So there's a photographer down there, and then like I don't want to give away every little secret that's there, but it feels like every moment around every corner there was something new, and you're like, that's so cool, and because let's say like I was quite nervous at the beginning, like trying to find my routes, and I was really just like tunnel vision, and then like, oh, there's a toilet there, there's a toilet there, and there's a sports car there, obviously because it's Dubai, you're underwater, like so cool. It opens for public bookings at the end of the month. I believe it's 800 dirham per person. A must do if you're in any way interested in diving. Like super cool. I feel like people will travel into the UAE just to do this.
Yeah, like from the videos, it's like it transports you to another world. But which world do you like better? Would you stay back there if you had the choice? Like if you had to become a mermaid and just like stay there with your closest ones, or would you just come back?
Well, I didn't like the wrinkly hands, you know, when you're down there for like an hour, because it meant I was.
No, like if you transformed into a mermaid. If it wasn't you anymore.
I know for summer goes, if you could be a mermaid.
Okay, if you had the option to be a mermaid and stay down there, or just like come back here.
I'd probably come back because you can't talk. That's what got me, obviously, because you're.
No, if you are a mermaid, then you can talk, and you
I didn't know mermaids could talk.
Mermaids can talk underwater. Ariel could talk.
I don't remember.
Ariel.
Yeah.
The little mermaid.
I know her, but I don't remember her.
How much she used to talk to the fish?
Okay, I'm gonna come back up. That's me. What about you?
I don't know. Like if I could get all my friends down there and we are all mermaids, that would be epic.
Yeah. If you want to get all your friends there to be mermaids, they will eventually open it up for
the public.
Yeah, but also for conferences.
Oh.
And then we're also the opportunity of maybe like a wedding they could do there. Maybe you never know.
Yeah, a wedding, maybe a proposal.
Maybe a proposal, but there's like conference rooms, there's like training rooms and stuff like this whole facility. Anyway, check it out if you would like to.
I would love to. Can't wait.
Are you gonna, if you go, please come back because we'd miss you if you decided to live your best mermaid life.
That is, if I transform into a mermaid. Now the chances of that are very slim.
But possible. Moving on, Britain plans to remove quarantine for vaccinated arrivals from other countries. I know there are UAE residents who are keenly listening out for this information. So a day after the recent announcements for a rule change for vaccinated individuals in the UK was made, Transport Minister Grant Shapps announced Britain's plans to scrap quarantine for fully vaccinated arrivals from other countries in the coming weeks. Now, please take this with a pinch of salt for what it might mean for us UAE residents, as we're still on the UK red list. But Shapps did tell Sky News on Friday that they would want to be able to open that up for people who are actively working on it. He also added that in the next couple of weeks, he'll be able to come forward and say more about locations around the world. This, of course, comes after Thursday's announcements that vaccinated British residents arriving from England from medium amber risk countries no longer needed to self-isolate on arrival. So it's still very much up in the air, but it looks like things could be resolving soon. Of course, the fact that we're still on the red list is the pain point here, because I think if you're on an amber list, it means that your quarantine would be scrapped in the UK, but as a UK red list traveller, you're still with the UK citizens, we'll still have to do that quarantine. So we're still there in that limbo period. However, it looks like moves are happening to eventually resolve that for you.
Fingers crossed. I really hope travel suspensions get lifted from all countries soon, because recently the UAE suspended flights coming from Indonesia and Afghanistan as well. Oh, just the ongoing pandemic disruptions.
Every single day we bring you new flight swaps. So yeah, of course, and especially because everyone is traveling at the moment, so it's a question for everyone. But I think get your vaccination onto your Al Hussein app because that's going to only help you.
That's so true. And my friends, they are planning to go to Georgia, Armenia, and they have to sort out PCR tests and those tests and that tests. Not that test, just the PCR, but like the documents and getting all that in order. It's like, oh, you know, travel has become a little trickier, of course.
100%.
But yeah, we have a list of countries that UAE residents can travel to and not have to quarantine, which is up on our website if you guys want to check it out. If you want to make last minute Eid plans. It's called Travel Quarantine Free from the UAE to 30 countries. There you go. Anyway, moving on.
Get that travel done in the safest way possible.
Vaccinations first. So our next story, Farhana Bodhi slayed in a stunning gown at the Cannes Film Festival. Now, it's always nice to see a Dubai resident and empowered content creators be able to make it anywhere, but of course, especially if it's to attend a prestigious event like the Cannes Film Festival. And I mean, that just shows you've made it. So Farhana Bodhi, who's an Indian-born, South African-based social media star and fashionista, rocked a stunning yellow gown made by Atelier Zuhra, an Omani label. The Atelier Zura, is it Zura? Zura. Do you know Ali? Atelier Zohra. Zohra. Yeah. Okay. Atelier Zohra gown is a standout on its own, and it was beautifully worn by Farhana Bodhi at the 74th Cannes Film Festival, which is the big return of the event, which was only postponed in 2020 last year since the Second World War. So I mean, it was a big event. A lot of major fashionistas were there, just rocking their looks. And honestly, just look at her. She is a vision in yellow and that diamond necklace. Like,
oh, it's so glamorous.
Yeah.
I think I'm loving Cannes this year because, first of all, there's so much going on right at this very moment. We have the Euros, we have Wimbledon, the Copa football finished last night, and then of course there's
Copa America.
I was like, the Copa finished.
Copa America.
Copa America. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of sports.
Yesterday?
Super exciting.
Messi won something, right?
Argentina won.
Argentina,
Messi,
yeah.
Messi is part of the team.
Okay. So there's a lot going on in the sporting world, but there's also things going on in the fashion world. And these, I think more so than ever before, like, I don't know about you, but my news feeds have been clogged with incredible images from Cannes, like stunning gowns. And I think because there's, you know, not a huge amount else going on to report, we're just seeing more of it.
Yeah.
And, you know, because it's not like people are traveling as much, it's just nice to see all this fashion. And
it really is.
See this kind of like insanely whimsical creations that are just so stunning, and they're really fairy tale, and they're something that we won't be seeing in our normal lives for a long time. So it's just nice to look at pictures.
I mean, honestly, you look at that and you're like, damn, absolutely cannot relate. But it's really nice, like the whole yellow to look, and it's got that subtle makeup and like just subtle accessorizing.
Subtle diamonds accessorizing.
Subtle diamonds. But it's not like overdone, you know, like in no part do you see it overdone. Like the makeup is just like a fresh look.
100. It's absolutely stunning. And like it's not your everyday wear. I just think it's so fun to be able to dress up like this every once in a while.
I love bookmarking these pictures and like, you know, practicing the poses. So when I wear something cute, you know, it's like just pull a Farhana. No, just kidding. I don't. I do. Fine, I do. I can feel the judgment, whatever.
No, there's no judgment.
I can feel it.
That's just something that I've never even thought to do, but it's interesting.
Whatever. It's just a Gen Z
moving on
thing. Okay, so yeah, moving on. You guys can find 3 very, very slick PepsiCo pavilions at the Dubai Expo 2020 site, which have just been revealed. Now, this year, PepsiCo is partnering with Expo 2020 to deliver a one-of-a-kind experience, bringing 3 pavilions with multiple interactive experiences. Now, these experiences will be everything from immersive, creative, unique to eye-opening and forward-thinking, and it's aiming to encourage a more sustainable change on a global scale. So make sure to stop by the Pepsi Plus Lace Plus Pavilion and make that your first stop when you're at the Expo site, because there it's all about positivity, togetherness, and they'll also have an equalization zone where you can literally score goals for gender equality. I mean, yes, we need that. And they even have the Lace Lay's Joy Pods, which is promised to be a 360-degree immersive experience, reimagining how empty Lay's packages are being given a new second life. So, a new second life? A second life.
A second life. Guys, this is so cool. As you may or may not know, PepsiCo are the official snack and beverage partner of Expo 2020 Dubai. And what they've done is they've created something kind of interactive and immersive. But what I think is most important is they're also kind of simultaneously advocating for multiple causes. So, for example, you said there you can score a goal for gender equality. It's not just about snacks, but they're actually using this incredible kind of platform that will be seen worldwide to advocate for causes that are very, very important. And when you head down there, you can check it out. And of course, they look absolutely incredible. Like they've with a small space, they've created something that's like so design led, totally interactive. So whichever one you go to, whichever pavilion you go to, there are 3. You're going to have a lot of fun, interesting, unique. So super cool to check out.
Really, and they are hosting a bunch of initiatives like sustainability is one, then inclusivity, gender equality. It's amazing. Like it's a lot of, like you said, like impactful and very important subjects that they want to promote and they want to bring light to in one pavilion.
Send a message, basically, because I think they know that the whole world, the eyes will be on Expo. Like it's just beyond 100 days out, right? So we had the 100 days out countdown. We're talking a lot more because it's finally getting closer. We're super excited. They know that the world eyes will be on Expo, and as the official partner, they're using their space to send a message, which I think is super cool. Guys, that is it for us, but stay tuned. We have Walid Shah is in studio, one of Dubai's most talented photographers who created the highly acclaimed campaign Rock Your Ugly. He's in studio to tell us more. Woo! Welcome back to the Lovin Daily. We have Walid Shah in studio, of course, one of Dubai's most talented photographers who created the highly acclaimed campaign Rock Your Ugly. He's here in studio to tell us more. Welcome.
How are you doing, Casey?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Life is good. Thanks for having me.
Not at all. We've had you before, and we have you here again to talk about Rock Your Ugly. Made headlines, and I want to give people a quick recap because basically Rock Your Ugly is a middle finger to toxic beauty standards and a reclamation of power through one simple truth: we all have things we don't like about ourselves. An incredible message. How did the journey for Rock Your Ugly start?
We talked about this last time. I think you guys had me on the show before it was a book, when it was just kind of like taken off, and we're still creating the pieces and the stories. And it started where I wasn't happy with my body. And one day I woke up and took a photo of myself holding my belly, saying, online something like, "This is what my body looks like. I used to be a sportsman. I worked out before. I was happy about it, but now I hurt my back, and I stopped working out and stopped dieting, and this is what I look like now. But I'm not really going to do anything about it. Check back in next year. Let's see what happens." And that resonated with people, and so I kind of I made a note to get back to this one day and explore everybody else's insecurities about their body. And one day I did come back to it, and we went from just talking about bodies to talking about deeper things like mental health and recovery from cancer and other societal issues like abuse and things like that. And it became a whole story that sort of whatever you're going through in your life, it's embodied, it's sort of reflected in your body as well. And it's just stories of real people going through real stuff, and not sugarcoated at all.
Well, this is exactly what's interesting, because I introduced you as a photographer, but what's really incredible about Rock Your Ugly is the conversations that resulted from it, right? So can you kind of give us an insight as to how it works in terms of how the stories evolve and how you got deep into kind of people's psyche to really understand what their insecurities were? Yeah.
So I mean, the initially, if you see the stories, some stories are like super short, and that's where it first started, where I wasn't going that deep. But the more stories, the more people I spoke to, the deeper the stories became, because I started to learn, hey, there's more to the story than just the image and somebody's body and what they look like. So eventually it became, I'd spend with the person about 2 or 3 hours, sometimes 4. I'd record our conversation, and we'd go really deep into what was bothering them, and it goes back to their childhood and their, how they were parented, how they were, the culture where they grew up, and how that ties to where they are now, what they're feeling about their body and things like that. And then later I'd write out the story based on what they told me. It's sort of almost a word-for-word transcription of what they were telling me, and that's why I think it's powerful, because it's in their voice. It's not in my voice, it's in their voice. So there's a few stories where we took parts of it out just because afterwards they weren't comfortable with sharing certain bits and pieces. But most of it is as raw as it comes.
Just in terms of the size of this book, how many photographs are in here? How many stories are you sharing?
There's 55.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
55. So 55 photo shoots, 55 kind of personal stories. I saw these, I'm sure you all did. They made headlines, covered by multiple publications. Obviously your Instagram account shared them too. What was, let's say, for example, the public's reaction? Because you're showing bodies, you're showing things which are potentially taboo. What was the general reaction to a lot of these stories?
Strangely enough, I was expecting a bit of a backlash, because a few things I did before, they caught me a backlash. So I was expecting that from this, but surprisingly, it was very positive. Most people were like, "Yo, this is how we feel. This is, I feel that too. Can we get more stories?" People started to share and stuff like that. And I was really surprised, and that sort of gave me a bit of fuel to do more and more, and that's why there's 55. So I'm grateful for that, and I'm pleasantly surprised that there wasn't a backlash.
Well, it's so interesting, because if you really think about Rock Your Ugly, and when we all kind of try and go a little bit deeper as to what that means, I think that's why it's so thought-provoking and so interesting. The process of making it into a book, though, by the way, congratulations. Thank
you. This is a lockdown COVID project.
Amazing.
So it, as soon as we were locked in, end of March last year, I was like, hold on, I wanted to do this. I wanted to write a book for a while. I've got all this content, it's ready. I've got the stories ready. So it was really a sort of a copy and paste job into a Word document. And thankfully, I found a publisher, the DreamWorks Collective, and they agreed to publish my book. They're like, hey, we love this. And they went with it.
You're making it sound easy, but no, this is a long passion project, which I'm sure was not easy.
It wasn't easy, but that's sort of the gist of it.
Do you have, is this your first book that you've brought kind of published?
Yeah. That's the first one that's actually, I've got my own sort of, mini publishing house at home. I print and just, for me. But this is the first one that's actually in stores, and there's a proper publisher, and you can go walk into a store and buy it, which is a very proud moment for me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
If we move on briefly from Rock Your Ugly, because I do want to talk about one of your campaigns that really struck me during COVID, which is of course Mawjood.
Mawjood, yeah. Mawjood, yeah.
Tell everyone what Mawjood is, because what you did I think was really, really amazing.
Mawjood is a project born in COVID, in lockdown. Looks like this. This is Big House on the cover.
Big House.
Yeah, and it's a project where I nobody was working. All the freelancers had no work. Most people got fired from their jobs, and I thought, how do we help these people? How do you help everybody get work and get back on their feet? So I went on Instagram and I said, hey guys, I'm doing a new project called Mawjood, which means I'm here, I exist, hire me, right? That's sort of the underlying message is hire me. So I'm here, I exist, hire me. And come by, let's shoot a portrait of you, make it look cool, like you're on a cover of a magazine, because what I learned from my other project magazine cover is that if something looks like a magazine, it's instantly more important to whoever's viewing it. You're instantly like, oh, there's some text around it. It looks like a real thing. This person must be important to be on this cover, right? Just naturally. So I'm like, let's make everybody a cover star. Everybody.
Amazing.
So, and the main thing was pay what you feel. You got money, pay. You don't have money, it's all good. You can pick however much you want to pay, and once you get there, help me out. Or if you can't help me out, let me help you out. So that's what happened, and it's kind of like blew up. And I think I've got about 350 to 400 portraits, of Mawjood.
I probably shouldn't go into this, but that's 350 photo shoots of your time editing.
Yeah.
How?
I had a very nice streamlined process.
Okay.
First of all, these aren't edited. There's no Photoshop. There's no. Nothing.
Okay, so I was wondering. Okay, yeah. It's all within. Oh, so cool.
Yeah, there's no Photoshop. We don't edit faces. Everything's raw and natural. Obviously, just the branding and people's name and stuff like that. But I did this over many months. I started in March, and I think it's kind of still ongoing. Like whoever wants to can come and do it. But I think the time has passed where everybody's still struggling like they were before. So I think this sort of ended in December. So I started in March, ended in December, but it's still kind of open.
An incredible relationship builder as well. Has anyone kind of come to you afterwards with kind of the good news stories?
For sure. Multiple people got freelance gigs. Some people got hired for permanent jobs. It was great and very fulfilling as well.
These are both two incredible, very personal projects, I imagine. You also work with big brands, which I know that we spoke about before. But I do want to talk about big brands versus your kind of creative style. Because I am interested. Let's say you've worked with Lovin, Namshi, plenty more, I'm sure. How do you go in? You're so artistic, you're so creative. How do you go into these big brands and align with them? Is there ever any clashing of heads?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to answer that, but they're very separate. Sort of the art side and the personal projects and the work. So it's strange because I get hired most of the time because somebody saw my personal projects. Like, yo, we saw this thing. I want to know who this guy is, and let's say they saw Mawjood and like, hey, we want to shoot a car campaign. It has nothing to do with each other. Right? It's just, this is sort of something that somebody saw and decided they like this thing. Let's see who the person behind it is. Let's hire them for something else, which is great because that's what it's for me as well. So it doesn't have to align artistically or the message. It's sort of these two separate entities where there's the art and then there's the business. That sometimes it does align and sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay.
And let's take projects you're working on at the moment. Anything exciting you want to tell us about? Like, is Mawjood still ongoing? Rock Your Ugly is available for sale, guys, which we'll get to in a sec where you can buy it. What's the kind of current? What's the latest?
Current, I actually was just talking to Shahir about it backstage. I'm not sure. I did this one project, but I'm not sure if I'm putting it out yet. I'm not sure if I'm ready to put myself out there again yet. But it's it's called couture, and it kind of makes fun of the industry and you know, the fashion side of things, and you know how people are celebrating trash these days. It's kind of like, I'm not sure if I want to put it out yet, but I'm thinking about it.
It's so interesting that you're not sure if you're ready to put yourself out there yet. I can't, let's say for example, as writers we write, but we're kind of hiding behind news because it's not very creative, it's facts. How nerve-wracking is it for you individually to put something there originally into the spotlight? Like, this is what I made, this is what I'm standing behind.
It's.
Are you a perfectionist?
I'm not a perfectionist at all. You know, as soon as I finish something, you know, I slap it into JPEG, and that's it. It's finished, and you know, whatever happens. Usually the same day. I don't go back and look at it. I finish something, and it's the same day. But my personal projects are very. There's like a part of me and a part of my opinion in there as well, and sort of being where we are here, your opinion sometimes gets misconstrued, right? So it's always nerve-wracking to put something out there that has your actual personal opinion on it, and I'm just aware of that.
What do you mean misconstrued?
So you misunderstood, and you know, sometimes there's a backlash around it, and so there needs to be a time where I'm ready to receive that backlash. So I'm not in that place yet. Maybe when I am, I'll put that out there and be like, okay, this is what I think. This is my new thing, and sort of come at me. Let's go.
Amazing. Well, I look forward to it, guys. Couture is no doubt going to blow us away. Tell us where people can find Rock Your Ugly.
So it's worldwide. It's on Amazon.com. In the UAE, you can walk into either Virgin Megastore or Kinokuniya to buy it. Yeah, and in the UK it's in Waterstones and Amazon.co.uk. In the US it's at Barnes & Noble. So yeah, a few stores worldwide, and you know, links are online as well.
Amazing, guys. Unfiltered, our insecurities are okay. That's Rock Your Ugly. Thank you so much, Waleed.
Thank you, Casey.
Next time, you'll come back to us.
Hopefully,
guys, that is it for us on the Lovin Daily. We're back with you every single weekday morning. Stay safe, wash your hands. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Waleed.
Thank you.